Na'eem Offord flipping to the Tigers?
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. We're joined by Auburn message board legend, the man over at thebarnauburn.com. That is Kyle Rush, also known as Charlie 5, also known as Tom's son, right? Is that what we're going with now?
Son of a Tom.
Yeah,
Son of a Tom.
Son of a Tom. So we'll get into your thoughts on what happened on the field and what could happen against Cal this weekend, as well as all sorts of recruit nuggets. The latest with the Deuce Knight saga. Is he going to flip from Notre Dame to Auburn? Yes. But Na'eem Offord crystal balled over the course of the weekend. Like, he arrives on campus, crystal balls and RPM picks, whatever you want to call them. They all start flooding in, Kyle.
Yeah.
And to me, like, it's just too much smoke for us not to pay attention to it. Na'eem Offord will eventually be an Auburn Tiger.
Funny deal. So obviously, everybody saw Dad put in the pick early Saturday morning. Tom Moore.
And just for somehow, if folks don't know, Na'eem Offord is the number one player in the state of Alabama, committed to Ohio State, very talented corner, goes to Parker High School up in Birmingham.
Number 8 overall player in the country, I believe. I could be wrong on that. At least at one point in time, he was a top 10 player in the whole country. So yes, Father Tom puts in his pick early in the morning. We knew he was coming already. If you're a member of the barn, you knew it early in the week that he was probably going to be here this weekend. And I obviously had a great visit, said a lot of great things, but here's the funny thing. Okay. So Ohio State's message board went from, and I think this is their On3 site, went from, when the pick went in on Saturday, there was some threads I saw people screenshotting. Tom was not that reliable. There's nobody at Ohio State is worried. Okay. And then today it comes out, or maybe it was yesterday, they put out the post that says, not only is the buzz happening, but we're already starting to look at possible guys that offers could be going out to replace. That's coming from Ohio State. That's not, it's not bugging. That's not like throwing stuff out there. Ohio State says, okay, after further review, maybe there's something to this. And not only is there something to this, we got to start looking for a backup plan. I mean, maybe this thing's going to happen pretty quickly. I don't know the timeline, but it does seem like, hey, Hugh calling his shot. And it looks like it's going to.
Oh, it's going to be
how
epic.
epic is that?
It's going to be insane. It's going to be incredible. I thought this was going to go up to signing day or early signing day in December. I don't think that anymore.
No.
I think this happens within the next month and a half. I think there's so much smoke here. I don't think they can delay it much longer.
I don't think it gets out of September based off of,
this month.
Yeah, I think
it
sounds like it's going to be this month. And like I said, Ohio State's already sort of preparing a backup plan. The Monument, this one, okay, Deuce will be big, okay? Deuce would be big. Na'eem Offord is seismic, okay? You are taking a child from Ohio State, number one, which is not easy. This will be, I guess, technically the third guy in all corners, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Kay and Lee
would be
at 12:30, and then
he committed about 12:30 or so.
12:30,
on Big Cat. Yep.
And then Na'eem Offord could be number 3. I mean, top 10 overall player, just continuing the charge that you're making in state, and then you go and you pick off the number 1 player in the state 2 years in a row.
To me, I think that's setting the tone too, especially like when Alabama is saying like, well, in-state doesn't matter anymore. And it's like, okay, well, we think it does. Yeah. And Cam Coleman, by the way, proved that this past weekend. And it's weird because Alabama people are like pooping on in-state recruits, and it's like all they're talking about right now is Ryan Williams. So it's like pick one side or the other here.
Yeah.
But then you look at 2026, and the top player appears to be Anthony Jones, which Auburn feels really good about him as well. And so like if they could pull this off and get the top player in the state 3 years in a row, it's like that. It sets a tone. So like yes, I agree that if Auburn flips Na'eem Offord from Ohio State to Auburn, seismic is a great word because it's so much. He's one of those players where the impact is so much larger than his ability, and his ability is special. This is similar to Cam Coleman, right? I mean, we saw what happened with him this past Saturday, what kind of impact he can have, but that battle was larger than just Cam Coleman.
Oh, totally.
That way with Offord.
Totally. And I mean, first of all, when's the last time I can't remember a 5-star corner that Auburn had? The guy, I think there was a kid from Lochapoka, and his name escapes me. That was like in the mid 2000s, and then he left. He was a 5-star, I believe, and then he quit football and went to be a rapper. People are gonna kill me because I can't remember this guy's name, but it was that's like the last one I can think that was on that level. And this kid is, I mean, not only is he a 5-star, again, top 10 player in the country. I mean, you're starting to pick off. Now you got 2 classes in a row where you're picking off top 10 players in the country. And there is a need for defensive back. You're going to have a little bit of a hole when Keontae Scott leaves next year. And then, Kayin Lee, if he continues to play like he is, he could be a draft pick after 2025. Mm-hmm. So you got your future sort of set. I think this kid will be a factor day one. And it seems like the train is headed that way. Like it looks like it's moving along the tracks, and it's heading towards Auburn.
Yeah, the amount of folks that put in predictions all within a few hours of each other. I don't know if it was somebody on Auburn staff or somebody on Ohio State staff, but you don't see that much movement all together. And when he stepped on campus just a few minutes after all that, that's big.
Sidebar real quick. Okay, Parker High School. Think about this defense. You're going up against Jordan Crawford in the middle, who I've seen film. He also plays running back. He's like a lead blocker, and he just levels people. Then you got brand new transfer, Vodney Cleveland. I remember his name.
Vodney Cleveland. Goodness gracious. He's my favorite player in the 2026 class, by the way. Defensive lineman. I don't know how he moves that well at that size, at that age. I don't know how he does it.
And so that's your 2 defensive tackles you got staring in front of you that would make me want to quit. And then if you actually do get a pass off, you got your boy Na'eem Offord back there lurking, ready to pick it off. Like if they don't win every game, and if anybody actually scores on them, I would think that you have serious question marks. I think you got to look.
I mean, you got to hit the outside. You got to run like sweeps and stuff to hit the edges. You can't run up the middle against those guys. Yeah. No question.
Toss sweep all day long.
Yeah, and you just toss sweep away from Offord, I guess, whatever side of the field he's on, run away from it. Yeah, no question about it. And so, according to On3, Offord is the only 5-star in the state of Alabama. Whether we think that's fair or not, whatever, still, you can't say anything about it. Like Offord he's a 5-star consensus.
He's
across
a consensus
the board.
On every single site. He's a 5-star. So there is nobody else in the class that is a consensus 5-star, but he would be across the board.
Yep, no question. All right, what's the latest with Deuce Knight? What's up with this? We discuss in just a moment, right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show is brought to you by our favorite mobile app, Ultimate College Football Head Coach. It's not the one that you're. Just hold on. This one's very fun. In this amazing game and simulation, you get to step into the shoes of a head coach and lead your college football program to glory. I mean, if you enjoyed what happened Saturday night at Jordan-Hare Stadium, download Ultimate College Football Head Coach because you can just like put it on easy mode and do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you're responsible for calling plays during the games. Your strategy determines all your success. It's so fun and immersive. Ultimate College Football Head Coach is completely free, has no ads. It is 100% playable offline. So we've got an offer for Locked On Auburn listeners. Just type in promo code Locked On CFB. All caps, no spaces, Locked On CFB inside the game store within the app, and you get a free boost to your program. Little NIL for your players. Why not?
Drop bags.
Why not? Drop bags. To download the game, just visit ultimate-cfb.com, or you can look it up on your phone's app store. That is Ultimate College Football Head Coach. Deuce Knight was here.
Another tease. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Deuce Knight was here, Sounds like everything went well.
Yeah.
The commitment did not come this past weekend. I still think we're close.
Yeah.
I still think we're close. I think I said this time a week ago where I would be a little bit panicky or frustrated. But based on the conversations we had, you and I have had, I don't think there's anything to be concerned about here at this point.
No, I think that Hugh and company had every intentions on pushing for a commitment this weekend from Deuce, going ahead and getting it in and having it done. But Deuce seems to have it seems to mean a lot to him to wait until after this rivalry game on Friday, this coming up Friday. I'm not gonna be shocked if he's back again on Saturday for the game. But regardless, Hugh had every intentions on, hey, look, I understand that. We need you in the class. We need you locked in, and so on and so forth. Whatever Deuce told him in that period of time made Hugh change his mind to where, okay, I trust you. Let's let it happen. They were hugging on the field. Everybody was surrounding Deuce, and Hugh kind of had his hand on him like he's talking to everybody, like, hey, this is going to be your guy. Mm-hmm. And Deuce was not shying away from it. It seems like he's all on board. There's just the whole spectacle around it that he's wanting to just make sure that I guess they at least get through this next game before he announced. I'm going to be shocked if he's not a commit by either Friday evening or sometime Saturday. I think it's all right. I think it's going to happen. I think we talked about this on the my live show on Sunday night in the stream. I just don't think – I really don't think there's any reason to worry. I really don't. I think that I have reason to believe that Deuce has reached out to some unbiased national media to sort of let them know so that they don't bother him during this week. So he kind of goes ahead and gives them the time frame to understand. So you're not calling him and texting him all week, hey, are you going to flip? Hey, are you going to flip? Yeah. I believe he sort of kind of let people know, I'm not talking about it. Something is probably going to go down on Saturday. So I'd love to have it done. I guess the thing is, I don't see what one more week is going to hurt anything. I don't think we're going to lose a recruit because or there's nobody that's like their decision is impending based off of Deuce. And on the flip side, in another tune, Deuce could be talking to him. Like Deuce could be saying, hey, if you're waiting on me, I'm popping on Saturday. Like, you're good. We're good. It's AU all the way. Like it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And it's going to be it's going to be very electric and a lot of fun when it actually does pop. And I think there's going to be a lot of celebrating.
Yeah, I think so. And I think other people are going to take notice of this. So like we already talked about Offord. That seems to be likely. Deuce Knight seems to be likely. Other crystal balls that come in this weekend, Elijah Melendez, the 4-star linebacker from Florida who was committed to Miami.
Yep. Decommitted on Saturday morning.
Decommitted on Saturday when Miami, the team he's committed to, has got this massive game. Doesn't care. Yeah. Where was he? On Saturday?
He was in Auburn. He could have been in Gainesville watching that booty whipping, but he came to Auburn to watch another booty whipping.
Yikes.
I love it.
Yikes. So obviously it seems like that's
let me tell you something.
Keep an eye on. Go ahead.
I feel so good about Elijah Melendez. I'm more worried about him knocking himself out this season. Like I'm more worried about him.
He plays so hard,
injuring his brain this season because he just absolutely caves people's face in. The highlight film is when you watch linebackers in like the 80s and 90s. That like they don't really go to it's no one in particular. They're going to hit somebody every single play. He will delete lead blockers. There's one clip, I think it's early in his film, where there's a fullback that's leading a lead blocker and he blows him completely out of the picture and still makes the tackle. So it's not like I'm just going to take myself out of the play. He blows him up and then makes the tackle. I mean, you got to have kids like this. Auburn hasn't had a lot. I haven't seen linebacker film like this in a long time. So from the physicality standpoint, the desire to hit, and I'll say this:
he's old school. Like he's old,
big time.
And like Elijah Melendez, when you watch his tape, if you're playing against him, he doesn't care about you. Like, let's just be very, very clear. He does not care about your well-being, and he plays that way.
No, 100%, 100%. Another thing, a lot of the recruits came in and, they wore, their regular street clothes. There wasn't a lot of Auburn stuff, especially for uncommitted guys, head to toe. He looked like a player. He looked like he was in his warm-ups that you walk through when you come down Tiger Walk and then you come out and you walk the field. He looked like a player. So like he is, I feel pretty confident in that.
Deuce Knight was dressed up in Auburn stuff as well.
I didn't see Auburn. I didn't see him in Auburn stuff, but maybe I saw some
in
of
that video that we posted from the barn. Was he not wearing Auburn stuff?
I think it was just some type of white shirt, but his family was wearing some jerseys. I believe they had some Auburn jerseys.
No, he's definitely wearing Auburn stuff.
Is he good? Good. Well, there you go. Even better.
And he looks great in it, by the way.
He has Aura plus 1,000 or whatever it is on NCAA, and I was just distracted. Funny story. Hey, this is a complete sidebar. So I'm in the press box for the game, and I get on the elevator to come down, and they're like, "Are you going all the way to the bottom?" I have no idea. This is my first time in the press box. So I go all the way down. Well, when you go all the way down, you come out in the recruiting lounge.
Yeah, right. You got to walk through it. Right.
Yeah. So I open the door and everybody kind of looks at me and I'm like, I am in the wrong place, but I'm just going to own it. And you got Anquan Fagans. They're playing NCAA, and then Deuce is like kind of right there in the middle of them. And they just all are interacting as if he's a part of the team, like already. He
is, right?
I know we're talking about Melendez. I know we're talking about Melendez right now, but that was a funny story that I forgot. I was like, "Are we going all the way to the bottom?" I was like, "Sure, take me wherever." I have no idea, and I show up in the. Well,
then you're in that. I've done that too, and like you're in that situation where it's like, I can't get back on the elevator.
No.
Like I'm just gonna walk.
What are they gonna do? What's the worst thing that could happen? They're gonna take me out the door.
They're going to ask you to get back on the elevator. That's the worst case. And it's like, I don't want to do that. So let's see if they make me. Right.
I'll go out this door. But it was a big recruiting weekend. And again, Melendez, I feel like you're going to get in the next 2 or 3 weeks, could possibly pull the trigger. And then you forgot about, go ahead.
Well, I haven't forgotten. I'm trying to get to him. Usman Kroma, the 4-star running back who it seemed like it was all Georgia or all FSU. And now it's like,
it's all Auburn.
It's all Auburn. Kyle.
Like Florida State was this was a Florida State lock. Like he was Florida State. Like he was going to commit to Florida State in the middle of August. The date I had was August 17th. That was like I had told people, I'm like, hey, unfortunately, he's flipping on the 17th. And somehow, some way, and I would love to know the story behind this. Auburn has gotten back in this thing so much so that I don't even think Florida State is in the picture anymore. It's all Auburn, and then. If Georgia has 2 running backs committed, if Georgia were to have one of those guys flip, decommit, whatever, and they do push for Usman Kroma, like you have to understand, it's a Georgia running back from the state of Georgia. Mm-hmm. Georgia's probably his dream school. That's going to be a tough one to fight off. But right now, he's all Auburn, and I think you're probably going to get a decision in the next 10 to 14 days. And you could go ahead and probably chalk him up on the commit list here very soon.
I mean, it's just crazy to think about. If you get Offord, Deuce Knight, Elijah Melendez, Usman Kroma, who else am I missing? Babs, Andrew Babalola, the 5-star offensive tackle.
Should be.
What is happening?
I mean,
what is happening?
The crazy thing is, none of those are a stretch. None of those are like just your building.
I think the biggest stretch out of those to me is Babs.
But I still think we lead for him. I legitimately
had to pick. I'm picking Auburn.
Even if it's 52%, I think Auburn leads.
Yeah. I do think it's close. But it's insane. It's insane.
Big September. I feel like you could have a monster September over the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Kyle, I watched Cal struggle against UC Davis, and there's just been some stuff I want to talk about.
Get it off your chest.
Let's just talk about it.
Yep.
That's coming up right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show is brought to you by our friends at 5 Hour Energy. What flavor is that?
Oh, that's great, my man.
Are you about to take one?
Oh, yeah. Got the cap off, ready to go.
It's like 8:00 at night. Wow.
Hey, we'll work it off. We'll go out and run. We'll go out and walk, do what we got to do.
Tell me what you're experiencing right now with what you just put in your mouth.
It takes a few seconds, but then the energy that just starts coursing through your veins, I tell you what it does. It gets you fired up. I got a little fired up on the live the other night. Got a little chippy. Not gonna lie, I got a little chippy, but hey,
sure.
It gets you through that little rough patch. It gets you through that little low spot. And grape is the best flavor. Send the check. Let's just go ahead and say it. Send the check.
With 0 sugar and a convenient portable size, it's the perfect pick-me-up for getting stuff done. And the 5-Hour Energy website has flavors galore, like watermelon. I'm not going to list them all. Just get grape. It's the best flavor.
There's none left in Lee County.
Yeah, you got to go to the website if you're in Lee County, because Charlie 5 or Kyle's bought them all. So go to 5hourenergy.com. It's the number 5hourenergy.com to get some 5-Hour Energy product today and use the promo code LOCKEDONCFB to receive 20% off your order. We've done lots of things in the history of our friendship, and a lot of it, some of the stuff, it just doesn't fully make sense of like what's taken off and what hasn't. But the movement of like grape flavored 5-Hour Energy that Auburn fans chugged on Saturday.
Is that why we
scored 73 points?
I'm not going to, you can't deny. I mean, you can't say it wasn't. I mean, the evidence is it could be a correlation. I mean, but whatever.
Maybe we'll see. But yeah, use promo code LOCKEDONCFB. Tweet at us pictures of your grape 5-Hour Energy shots. I just want to see them. Go to 5hourenergy.com today. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day, and all the everydayers out there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Watching Cal struggle with UC Davis.
Yeah.
Kyle, I'm trying not to be critical here, and we're going to talk about this all week.
Yeah.
They looked awful. Cal looked terrible. Maybe UC Davis is okay. I don't know. I don't even know like what conference they're in, because to be frank, I barely know what conference Cal's in, because they're in the ACC now. And they're really proud of it, which is great. Nothing screams Atlantic Coast Conference more than Cal being here. But
their schedule, by the way, is insane. Like, it's every other week. They're going literally across the country. It's crazy.
Yeah, their non-con is they're going to Auburn. I mean, that's just insane. It's just insane. I don't know how that's making them money, but whatever. So to me, whenever I look at a team, whether it's a team or a player, I always ask myself, like, what do you do well? And normally I would say, their running back Ott, like he was their best player a year ago, or Sam Jackson. But to me, it's like, okay, he was really limited. And there are some folks saying he's going to, like, he got hurt or whatever. Like, when I watched it, I didn't really, like, I don't
rolled his ankle or something like that.
I'm not sure if I'm buying that, like, that's why. Like, I think he's going to play. So to me, the quarterback looked very uncomfortable. The offensive line was okay, but it's against UC Davis, right? Like, they don't have a Keldrick Falk. They don't have Jalen McLeod coming at you. The thing that stood out to me the most was their DBs, like, were nowhere near the UC Davis receivers, like nowhere near, especially in the first half. The second half got a little bit better, but it's just, there were situations where, like, in the first half, UC Davis was like within 5 yards of scoring, and they went for it on 4th down and they didn't get it. And then they missed 2 field goals.
Missed 2 field goals. Yeah.
And it's like, and UC Davis ended up scoring a few plays later because of a scoop and score. So it's like, I guess you could count that. But it's just, to me, I don't see how this game is close. And I need you to tell me I'm booging too hard. But I just don't see it. The line is shifting dramatically. It opened at like 11.5 or 10.5. It's at 14 now. I don't see where Cal can line up and say, this is where we're better than you.
Or this is a good matchup. Yeah, I don't know where that matchup is. And I feel the same way. Like, I'm almost concerned, could we be the first ever team to go with 10-minute quarters in the second half, like back to back? Like, could that be a possibility?
I'm not quite there, but hey, maybe. We'll see.
My guess on the line was 13.5. I said, I think that'll probably be the line, and it opened.
And if it's at 14 now, like, I'm still taking Auburn to cover that right now.
Right now, for sure. Like, I'm like you. It's not even getting caught up in the Alabama A&M game. It's simply what you just said. It's, where is the mismatch? Where is Auburn going to have the biggest issue? And I don't know exactly where it is. If if you were the opposing team on offense, what would you do to exploit Auburn on defense? I feel like I would try to attack maybe the middle of the field or attack the DBs, because there were times
it would definitely be intermediate passing for me.
But do they have that? Like, do they even have that? I don't think so. Maybe could you possibly say maybe I don't know, because we were overwhelmed Alabama A&M so much it's hard to find a negative in general. But I'm like you, where is the negative? Where is the mismatch that Cal can take advantage of? And I mean, I understand anything can happen, but I'm like you, it's hard for me to see how this isn't like a 20 to 21 point game. Like, I really do. I think you pound Auburn, and they're going. It should be if you do what you're supposed to do, and you get your matchups, and you're able to block for Peyton. If you're able to protect Peyton, he's going to be able to pick you apart with these receivers now. And I don't know that pass rushers over there. I don't know that defensive line is there that's going to be able to get after. They weren't able to do it against UC Davis. So if they can't do it against UC Davis, it's hard to imagine how they're going to come across the country and be able to do it against Auburn when they had their chance to take down Auburn last year and couldn't do it. And this team is vastly improved.
Yeah, UC Davis, like, they threw for over 200 yards. I just don't see it. I don't see the path to Auburn doing it. And look, if you're Cal, you asked me a similar question. I'm going to flip it. If you're Cal, what are you focused on defending when Auburn has the ball?
Yeah. I mean, last year there were no vertical threats. Last year you had Rivaldo. Like, you had nobody that could go vertical.
But we didn't really know what Rivaldo wasn't included in the UMass game up to that point.
And he really wasn't included. I don't think. No, he did. That was kind of like his breakout game where he had a couple of big, incredible catches.
Yeah, it was on the goal line fade, and we all freaked out.
Yeah, and he made another great play up the seam where he made just an unreal play.
Yeah,
but I don't know what you do. Like, who do you pick? Who do you take out of the game? Like, a defense, that's kind of how you look at a team. Or who do we want to erase and make them the others beat us? I don't know who I take.
To me, there's two. Like, you focus on Jarquez, and then the other one for me is KLS.
Yes, I'm with you.
And you just hope that one of your corners can beat the freshman.
Yeah, that's the only.
I'm saying freshman is in plural because, like, I'm still blown away by how good Malcolm Simmons. I just did not see that coming.
Please pick anybody but Malcolm. Pick anybody but Malcolm and let Malcolm just dominate you.
But is it from like the DC point of view? Like, I don't think you can pick Malcolm, right? Like, you've got to pick other guys ahead of him, which is kind of why it's so exciting. And, like, I get the argument of picking Cam Coleman, but, like, you can't do that until he does it. I don't think you can do that.
No, KLS is the wily veteran that's going to be able to get to the sticks on third and long, or you can kind of go to and know that he's going to be able to run the correct route. That's the guy you have to take out. But then you have all the other dudes that score touchdowns and are able to be big weapons. It's tough. And again, I don't know that they have. No disrespect, I just don't think they have the horses to be able to handle Auburn right now. Maybe ever.
They just look so much worse than a year ago.
And they had a huge portal class. They had and everybody, that's what made me kind of nervous about this game before the season started. Everybody kind of beat their chest about this portal class they brought in. And then they go out and almost get beat by UC Davis.
Yeah.
Not even a Division I team.
Well, and I think people forget last year when Auburn went to Cal, like, how the narrative going into that was, this is tricky. And it's like, yeah, you're traveling across the country. You're kicking off at midnight. Like, it was just, I'm exaggerating. It was the latest kickoff in Auburn history or whatever. But still, like, Auburn did everything they could to, like, try to lose that game.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And if Auburn plays, like, okay in that game, it's not close.
Nope, not close at all.
And so now you flip that. Cal has to come here. They have no identity yet. I don't see how it's close.
I don't either.
I
don't either.
see it.
It's 2 touchdowns minimum, and I think it's probably going to be closer to 3. I really do.
Yeah.
I think Auburn will jump on them quick, go vertical quick, and go ahead and kind of put their foot on their throats early, and then maybe we'll have 10-minute quarters again. That'd be cool.
That'd be wild. It'd be funny if you did that just to troll, like 10-minute. Anytime we've got a lead now, like that's our thing. It's like 10-minute quarters, third and fourth quarter.
It's up to you, Coach. You want 10 minutes? Well,
it's up to you. It's up to you. Yeah, that's
you call it.
All right. How can people check out everything you've got going on? TheBarnAuburn.com is popping.
TheBarnAuburn.com. Subscribe now. $1 for the first month, and it's $9.95 after that. So much good content, recruiting content, team content, a lot of fun stuff. Great conversation also as well. And I think we cut out a lot of the riffraff that you see other places. So come in and have a fun.
People are saying, hey, I'm new to the Barn. I've been at other message boards. I love how positive and friendly this place is.
Yeah. Now, obviously, everything's going good, but we're going to be realistic about things. But again, enjoy the conversation, enjoy the information that we get, and make some friends at the same time. Had a lot of folks that said hello on Saturday that were members, and it was a lot of fun to start kind of putting faces to screen names. So check out that. We're going to be going every single day at the Top Button Podcast, and then we got a Hoops Pod dropping. I think I'll go ahead and let you know. I think we're dropping a Hoops Pod with Zep Jasper, baby, going down every Tuesday and Thursday, along with the Top Button Podcast. So y'all definitely tune in and check out for that.
Yeah, go subscribe to The Barn on YouTube as well. Of course, it's free to subscribe on YouTube, and I've got a show over there as well called Village Vice with Brad Law. So go check that out. Please like the video. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked On Auburn.